So I got a text regarding one of those community blogs. It seems that somebody's got a bunch of wood scraps, mostly walnut, it says. $10, can't go wrong with that. But can I use it? I really don't want to grab them if I can't use them. I can see moving them from their basement to my garage. After about 48 hours, I find I can't resist. So here they are in the back of my car. So now I got to make good on it and build something with it. All right, so that pile of wood is in my garage now. Time to do something with it. So this is my first opportunity to really inspect this new wood I got. This is walnut. It's big, hulking, but it's small pieces. I'm looking to see what kind of qualities might lend themselves to this sculpture. All right, just to get the ball rolling, I pulled out some similar pieces. They'll have to be trued up to be the same exact size. I'll probably only use like half of them for a single piece. I'm gonna take it from there. So I consult a sketchbook. I remember there's a scrap I doodled something on. I think it might be appropriate. I think the block forms will lend themselves to the broad areas, but these thin bits in the middle, these connecting bits, I think are going to be a cool challenge. So here I bring it into Photoshop, where I'll transcribe it to get measurements and angles that I can apply to my piece of wood. So I created this new file by tracing the points. Now I have something I can take measurements off of and impose dimensions onto. The size of this piece of wood will dictate the ultimate size of the sculpture. So I'll set up the resolution so this part of the file, the side, matches the side of my piece of wood. Then all the other measurements will fall into place. So I got these guys milled to size, sanded. They're really smooth. Now I need to lay out where the cuts are going to go. I work in metric when I need to do a lot of math. I work my way across, taking measurements off the computer and transcribing them onto this piece of wood. So now I have these crazy sharp angles to cut on the short side of a really broad piece of wood. There's no setting on any saw that'll do this. To accomplish this, I threw together this rig that would pinch the wood, hold it in place. I got this big piece of steel and I wedge it in. I don't know, it must press down a whole lot because it doesn't go anywhere. Next, I had to find out how to cut on the line. This setup has no fence of any kind, nothing to square it against. Very often, modern saws have a laser beam as a guide to show you where the blade's going to cut. So it gives me an idea. I have these light bulbs, a little hairy install here, and they cast a shadow on the piece of wood where the blade cuts. And it's this ice cream stick that causes the shadow. And I have it set up for the inside of the kerf and the outside of the kerf. I flip the light, then I adjust it for that. I use this block of aluminum to square it up. All right, I've been doing these test cuts, and they really are coming out well. Managed to stay on the line. So I cut on where the kerf was on the right side of this line. I'm gonna try and cut to the left of that, so it'll be the outside of the kerf. So if this works, we're gonna have this little film piece of wood. That ought to be interesting. So when I'm done, this one should look like it should be the width of the pencil lead, like a prosciutto meat slicer. All right, I'm quite impressed with my own handiwork here. This is so uniform and thin. It's unbelievable. Check it out. It's just held by the corner. Walnut is considered a hardwood, but I'm finding it cuts like butter. I really thought this was going to break loose and shoot across the room. I'm finding this is not a milling job, but a machining job. All right, it's time to actually start cutting real wood. Among other things, I gotta stay on top of the kerf and be sure and cut on the right side. There's like no room for error. All right, it's not perfect, but I just cannot believe how smooth this cuts. And very critically, it's quite square. As it's cutting, if it leans even slightly one way or another, it's going to scream with this measurement. So I'm pretty satisfied because that was really the having this thing just not shoot across the room and having it square were two of the big concerns. These spindly trapezoid shapes were particularly challenging. After several days of intense focus, I got them all cut. Now I can start gluing. So I've been taping these off before I glue it. This is probably going to ooze the glue a little bit, trying to minimize the potential staining and mess. All right, that went quick enough. So now it's time to glue these guys. Okay, this is a milestone. It's finally one single piece. And there were some gaps, so I had to press some wood filler in there. Now it's time to remove the tape. Next, I'm going to apply a finish to this. This is tung oil. It's kind of a thin varnish that you apply with a rag. It's very forgiving, easy to use. The color is so rich, really beautiful. Most of my work celebrates the oxidized patinas and ruined surfaces. So it's interesting to have this polished, finished look. All right, so finally I have to address the wood filler. Sure, there were gaps here and they filled up okay, but I need to retouch them out. I started already, and it actually came out really well. I'm speeding through it. I thought it was going to take a while. But so I mixed up some paint, and I've been working my way around the gaps, the wood fill. I'm happy the way it turned out. Took a bit of focus. The cuts were so critical, unforgiving. It's a unique permutation on a motif I've been working with for a while now. And now for the grand reveal. Thanks for watching.